All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome out to Speed Racing Network, where we're presenting a fun charity race here tonight, the Revved Up for the Cause 200 at Daytona International Speedway. My name is Shawn Griffith. I'll be your broadcaster tonight. We'll have a few people stopping by along the way. We're going to have a little bit of fun tonight, but out there on the track, it's going to be all serious as we've got 80 laps here at Daytona International Speedway. Long track, huge track, the birthplace of NASCAR. We are here having a great time on this super speedway, and they call it that. It's 2.5 miles long, high banking, high speeds, and all those cars are going to be all grouped up together. And that's where that very last line on your screen comes into play. One fast repair tonight. So if you get into a wreck, if you hit a wall, if you hit another car, that sort of thing, then you get to come into the pits, get a repair, and then get right back out there on the track. You get to do that one time during the race. And so people do have to be extremely careful out there on the track, especially as close as these guys are going to be driving to each other tonight. But we'll see what happens, and I'm sure you're going to have a great time tonight. This is actually going to be a very, very fun race, not just to call, but also to watch live on YouTube and on Facebook. So we appreciate all of you viewers being here tonight. I know we've got a lot of new viewers tonight, and from being as charitable as you're being for this worthy cause. Let's talk about that cause. So tonight's proceeds will benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And so in the YouTube description, there should have been a link in there that you can go and donate to St. Jude using that link. Our goal is to reach $3,000. I think we're about $650 away from that goal. So not that far away. So if you could get on there and contribute a little bit there to this charity. I am actually from the Memphis, Tennessee area. That's where I'm broadcasting from, actually. And so St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is just down the street. This is a hospital that does amazing things. I have friends that work there. I have family that works there. And then I also know a few of the children that are in there as well. And those kids desperately need our help to keep cancer research going so that we can hopefully one day in the future, God willing, eradicate cancer completely and totally from this earth, and that would be an amazing thing. So man, we're going to have a great time tonight, but definitely consider going to those links and donating to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Now tonight, these drivers out there, they're not out there just for fun. They each pay $20 to get in here, and of course, most of that is going to go towards charity, but we do have some prizes out here as well. So first place is going to get $200 and a Butt Kicker Gamer 2 compliments of Butt Kicker Company. Now, a butt kicker, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about here, it hooks up to your seat, and as you're driving on this simulation, this game, whatever you want to call it, on iRacing, you feel the car vibrating. You feel every single turn, every single bump on the track. You'll feel it, and so it really changes the way you use this simulation, because you can feel the car slipping out from underneath you if that's what's going on. So a lot of fun there, and we appreciate them jumping in and getting us a Butt Kicker Gamer 2 to give to first place, as well as that $200 first prize. Now for second prize, $100 and a 12-button sim box, courtesy of Simbox. And so a sim box, a 12-button sim box, basically they have buttons on there that you can program onto your computer that when you hit these buttons, they do certain things. So how that helps in iRacing. So in iRacing, you are allowed fast repairs if you have damage, but there's a button on there that you have to click if you want to do that or don't want to do that. You can program that sim box to click that button. You can program that sim box to even send a chat message that says, hey, I'm sorry I ran into you. So really cool device there. We appreciate them donating that. And then finally, third place is going to get $50 and an iRacing iFlag, which an iRacing iFlag is basically a device that if there's a yellow flag on the racetrack, the device blinks yellow, so you can actually see it right there in front of you really, really easily. So really cool device there. So we appreciate them also. So we do have a hard charger award here tonight as well that has been donated. So $150 will go to the hard charger, courtesy of Hunter Anesthesia Associates in Flemington, New Jersey. So we appreciate them for donating that prize. Now, what a hard charger is that's where you start from the back of the pack and you work your way forward. So whoever gains the most positions tonight will get that hard charger award and that $150. So man, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff on the line tonight. It should be a lot of fun to watch. Once again, for those of you that are just joining us, 80 laps tonight at Daytona International Speedway. We'll take you out to the track here in just a second. They are finishing up qualifying right now, and then we are going to get this party started. It is going to be an absolute blast. We will see some wrecking tonight. We will see some fun racing tonight. It is going to be excellent. So let's get out there onto the track right now and see what everything's kind of looking like, because I believe we are going to start getting gridded up here. So up front, we got Daniel Bodler, who we should talk to a little bit later tonight, but Daniel Bodler is actually the all-time winningest driver in Speed Racing Network history. So up front, pretty much where he feels comfortable. Nathan Nixon in the second position there on the outside row. So Nathan Nixon, one of our better drivers down in the truck series for Rev Racing, incredible driver there. Wes Hogue, a driver that really hasn't been in Speed Racing Network before, but I have heard really huge things about him. Runner-up in the Sim 500, which is a big race as well. So Wayne Rayburn, one of our Speed Racing Network drivers, brings up in 4th place. David Duke in 5th place for R&D Motorsports. Bo Tiffany in 6th place. Cody Riggs for Rev Racing in 7th place. Bobby Brill, one of the best drivers in our leagues and last season's Mid-South Madness champion. So he took home a prize of $500 for that championship. So good to see him out here. Mike Bosby, a great driver for us. Joshua Siegfried in 10th. Casey Feaster, new driver to us, in 11th, and Kelly Everett, another new driver for us, so up in 12th. So, man, great field that we have going on right now, and so we will get out there onto the track and find out how everything's going. As you can see, all those cars lined up, and while we are waiting for this thing to get started, let's talk about our sponsors. So we really appreciate our sponsors. They're the ones that make this thing happen. So You're Able, we appreciate you guys. Also, iRacing iFlag donating one of our prizes here tonight. St. Augustine Detail, St. Augustine Mobile Detailing. So definitely thank you for your sponsorship. Next Diag, so one of our main sponsors in Speed Racing Network as well. We appreciate you guys being here tonight, donating to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Simbox, we appreciate your donation also for the prize for 3rd place. Griffiths CPA firm out of Memphis, Tennessee. Rev Racing, the racing team out here in the Speed Racing Network, and in all 3 of our leagues, one of the best racing teams we have in our circuit. Silverback Tax Solutions, another tax firm in Memphis that fixes tax problems. Butt Kicker, who we've talked about a little bit earlier, feel what you've been missing. Hunter Anesthesia and Associates, we appreciate you guys up in Flemington, New Jersey. Menard Premium Detailing, thank you guys very much for your sponsorship. Action Title Services of St. Johns County, we appreciate you. Sparkle and Shine Mobile Detailing, another one of our main sponsors for Speed Racing Network. And then finally, Speed Racing Network themselves, thank you for donating all this time and energy into getting this broadcast put together. All right, let's get out there on the track. We are about to get crazy here, and it is going to be very fast-paced. It is going to be a lot of action. So I will try to keep you up to date on absolutely everything that happens. Like I said, we will have a lot of people coming in and out of the booths throughout the race, especially if we get a caution. So don't be surprised if you hear some fun voices in there. And if a couple of our guys wreck out, then we might even get them up here for the rest of the thing. So we're going to have a great time here tonight as Daniel Bodler gets our pole position. He is going to bring us to our start-finish line. The pace car is about to dive right off the track, and then Daniel Bodler is going to get that start. And there goes that pace car, and here comes Daniel Bodler to start us off with the Revved Up for the Cause 200. Right off the bat, Nathan Nixon on the outside, losing a spot there. Wes Hogue, again, a driver we haven't really seen too much of, but I've heard great things about, giving Daniel Baldler a huge push to clear Nathan Nixon. You can hear those engines as they come by, but you'll see these drivers, they're going to get lined up. Typically, they'll be 2 wide. Sometimes they'll get 3 wide. When it gets 3 wide, you better hold on to your wheel because it is tough to maintain that position without losing control and running into other people. So, like I said, I'm sure we'll see some wrecking tonight. Hopefully, we don't see too much, though, because we want to see a good green flag lap. Or race, actually, not just lap. But Daniel Baldler is going to lead that first lap with Wes Hogue pushing him all the way there. Nathan Nixon dove down to the inside line. You got David Duke, one of our better drivers in Speed Racing Network in the Cup Series. He is up in 4th, and he's going to try to get to the bumper of Nathan Nixon in his Flavor Bomb car. As you can see, the cars coming off the turn, and they're going to come down that back stretch. All those cars that kind of getting spread out already. So there's a couple of thought processes here. So a lot of these cars are going to split off, and they're going to go way back in the back of the pack. And they do that so they stay out of trouble. Anytime you have a lot of cars all bunched up together on one track, if there's a wreck up at the front, it takes everybody out, and they ruin that fast repair. And so a lot of cars will hang back, and we can kind of see that as we go back a little ways. They're starting to kind of try to hang back a little bit so they don't get into any trouble if there is a wreck. And so you're going to see a lot of that tonight until we get to about lap 60 or so. Once we get to lap 60, it's pretty much go time, and people will really start to get racy. But right now, Daniel Baldler, who, again, one of our, actually the most winning driver in Speed Racing Network history. He does have 6 wins with us. I'm sorry, 5 wins with us. He's hoping for his 6th one here tonight, but he has led every lap so far, and he continues to get a great push by Wes Hogue. And you can kind of see an outside line forming a little bit. You got David Duke there in the 78 car. He has popped out to the outside. He is just hoping that somebody gets right up on his bumper and pushes him. And the thing with drafting here, basically when you are right up on the tail of another driver, you cut the air in half, and by doing that, both of you go faster. And so, whoa, Bo Tiffany gets way out of shape there, and now we are almost 3 wide as Wes Hogue is tired of pushing Daniel Baldler. He is going to jump out to the outside and try to take that lead on his own, and he will take that lead as Daniel Baldler falls back to second going into the turn. Now the question is, does Wes Hogue stay up there with a good pusher like David Duke, or does he pop down? And he pops down along with David Duke. So Wes Hogue now takes our lead here at the Revved Up for the Cause 200. So while we have a brief chance here, we see some people kind of getting out of control here, and oh, we got somebody going through the grass. That's Bobby Anderson getting out into the grass. Not sure what's going on there. Oh, and he almost gets into some of the cars. We might have a wreck here shortly. Whoa, it looks like everybody made it through. That was awfully close to being a wreck in our very first caution of the night. Back up front now, David Duke has actually taken the lead. Daniel Baldler up in second. Wes Hogue has fallen back to third on that inside line. Now on the outside, you have Nathan Nixon in that number 39 Urable car. And so he is going to bring up that outside line. Now he's going to drop down to the bottom. So that bottom line really working right now. You can see most of the cars down there right now just kind of settling in. It is going to be a nice long race. So you don't want to push too hard right now. But while we've got a brief moment, let's go out and let's take a look and see Jason Tripp. So Jason Tripp is the president of Speed Racing Network, my boss basically. So he's out there in the number 91 car. He doesn't drive as much these days. He just runs the leagues and that sort of thing, but he really was a good driver when he did drive. So it's good to see him out there. And as you can see on the screen, for every position that he gains $3 will be donated to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And so right now he is already up 8 positions. And so if he can maintain that, then that's $24, actually 9 positions now. So $27 towards St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So great work by him being out there. And we appreciate everything that he does, not just for the races, but also for Speed Racing Network as a whole. Back up front, David Duke still maintains that lead. Wes Hogue has jumped out to the outside once again. Now he's going to get a push from Joshua Siegfried, who is out on the outside. And you can see how close they're getting and how much you can't see anything in these cars as you're driving. It is tough to see right out in front of you because you're so close to that person's bumper. And so you just have to trust that guy in front of you. You have to trust that they're not going to do anything crazy. You can see the 00 there back there, third in the inside line. That is Bobby Brill. He was last season's Mid-South Madness champion. So he knows how to win these races. He is a great driver. So all these guys, I really thought more people would hang back, but it doesn't seem to be the case. First guy really hanging far back. We're going to jump all the way back to Daniel Keith in 26th position. You can see this second pack lining up back here, and pretty much they're just staying back there with each other. They're not going to run into each other, not going to race for position right now. They're just trying to ride this thing out so that when there are wrecks, that they don't get involved in those wrecks. So really smart strategy for them. We'll see if it pays off. But up front, again, they're just switching positions all the time. So Wes Hogue up front once again being pushed by David Duke in that 78 Flavor Bomb car. Out there in the chat, Ron Tripp saying, good luck, Jason, number 91. That's who we were just talking about, Jason Tripp out there. And then Mike Carrozza saying, let's go Madden, number 15. And so number 15 is Michael Madden. So he is currently sitting second place in points in the Truck Series. And so he's got a couple wins this season already. So he is out there in a different paint this time around. So an American Pavement Specialist paint out there along with a breast cancer awareness ribbon there. So a little bit of a different paint than he normally sports. But yeah, just watch out for him because it's only a matter of time before he makes his way to the front. Now, right next to him, you got Zach Taylor in the 14. He also has 2 wins in the Xfinity Series. So he is our leader of the Xfinity Series right now. So, man, just all sorts of great racers, but they're sitting back in 15th to 16th right now. So lots of time to go here, and they're just kind of biding their time right now. All right, and so let's actually zoom in really quick. So once again, we're going to take a look at Daniel Baldler. He is going to be one of our in-race reporters up there in first place right now, and you can see him in the number 6 Sparkling Shine, one of the sponsors here for not only this race but also for the entire season for Speed Racing Network. So he is racing with them on his hood tonight, and you can see there on the screen most wins in SRN history, and he is still trying to tack on more and more of those wins as we go. And Wes Hogue is just right up there on his bumper, and they've been pretty much 1, 2, 3 the entire race. So Daniel Baldler, Wes Hogue, and David Duke. And that's kind of that's where all 3 of them like to stay. So Daniel Baldler loves to be up front because the safest place on this track is when you're ahead of everybody else. So if people behind you are wrecking, it is not that big of a thing for you. Now that second line has kind of broken apart on the outside, and so because of that, these front 5 guys are starting to kind of make their way up front. Now, you do have Bobby Brill that kind of jumped to the outside, but he has no help out there at all, so he is going to actually be a little bit slower than the rest of these cars until he gets a helper on the outside. It's kind of rare to see all these cars lining up at Daytona. Usually it's too wide for a long time there. So, and now they're starting to break up into two lines as Wes Hogue decides that he's had enough of pushing Daniel Bowler once again. So Wes Hogue, once again, will dive down to the bottom of the track. So everybody likes the bottom of the track there. It's a little bit faster in most people's opinion. But David Duke going to take that lead on the outside with Bobby Brill, last season's champion, pushing him. So now we've got not really a new leader. He's, David Duke's been up front pretty much the entire race in the top three, but Bobby Brill starting to make his presence known. Now look on the outside, Greg Olenek in the Moo and Brew car in the number 31 out there. He was the last winner of Daytona, if I remember correctly, or pretty close to it. So great driver there on the. Actually, he did win. He won Daytona at in the Cup Series. And so he knows how to get around this track, and if he wins again here tonight, then you can certainly call him a super speedway specialist. Out there in the chat right now, Wilson Lou saying, I see you, Jovi, let's get it. And so that's Jovi Psycheped. And let's find out where Jovi is out here on the track. Not really, not seeing. Oh, there he is. He is back here in 26th position. So he's in this second group that's back there, just kind of biding their time in that number 3 M&M's car. So he is just kind of biding his time a little bit, just waiting for either accidents to happen or for the time to strike. And now Greg Olenek has taken that lead in the Moo and Brew car with David Duke pushing him there. Bobby Brill in third, Wes Hogue in fourth. Not really sure what happened to Daniel Bowler. He's back here in 7th position, so he has fallen back just a little bit, still in there. And out there in the chat, Rose Brummett saying, Jake, where's your partner in the booth? Actually, Miss Rose, I'm Shawn, and I think Jake might be coming into the booth here really shortly. So that's okay. If you confuse me with Jake, I will take that as the biggest compliment in the history of this universe. Trey Maggio saying moo for the Greg Olenek, who is leading this race 17 laps in at the Revved Up for the Cause 200. Been a clean race so far. These guys are really getting after it, though. They are swapping positions left and right. You can see that Wes Hogue jumps out to the outside. He's going to get followed by Zach Taylor in the number 14 car. So Zach Taylor, one of the drivers for Tank Racing in our Xfinity League. So again, he's got a couple wins on this season, so he really knows how to wheel it out there. And so he is going to give a good push to Wes Hogue there. But right now, Greg Olenek still leading this race. And David Duke jumps out to the outside right in front of Wes Hogue, cuts him off. So we are 18 laps in, and it doesn't happen very often here at Daytona on iRacing, but it could get to a point here somewhat shortly where we're going to have to get into some green flag pit stops. And so pit stops here really crucial. Your timing has to be accurate. You've got to get into your pit stall, get out with the fuel, with the tires extremely quickly so you can get right back out there on the track. So if we stay green, that might separate this pack out a little bit. As Greg Olenek still leads this race on the inside, as David Duke is trying to bring that outside line to life, and Duke will make the pass ever so slightly, but he's not going to get too much of a lead here, not on a super speedway. And Wes Hogue dives out of line, gets down to the inside. Now, he's got to get Greg Olenek up on his bumper, otherwise that's not going to help him at all. Brooke Lemke out there in the chat saying, if you're not first, you're last, from Talladega Nights. And so that is accurate here at Daytona. A lot of guys do feel that way. So a lot of guys do not race for second here. I promise you that. But you got David Duke taking the lead of this race, and then Zach Taylor dropping down to the bottom line to push him. So a lot of shuffling here in the top 6 or 7 cars. And then it starts to kind of fade off to the back. I'll tell you, this second group back towards the back, Ryan Ducom is leading the way back there. They are about 10 seconds behind the leaders, so they've got a long way ahead of them, and they're doing that again. If there is a wreck, they have plenty of time to get their car slowed down and get out of the way so they don't get any damage. So a strategy that is used here on iRacing all the time by teams and by drivers. And so we got everybody, top 25 is within about 3 seconds of each other, and then everybody from 26 on back is kind of in that second pack. So David Duke getting the push here from Zach Taylor. You can see that view out of David Duke's car. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're actually going to jump back to Daniel Balder's car, and we're going to see what he's seeing through his windshield. And you can see how little you can see out there. It is really difficult. You have to trust that guy in front of you, that if he turns, that you're going to turn with him. You have to trust that he's not going to hit the brake. You have to trust his line. You have to trust that people aren't wrecking in front of him too. A lot of trust goes into this, especially when you don't even know the guys that you're racing sometimes. So it is one of those things that is a definite skill that you evolve into after lots and lots of practice. So all these guys have practiced tirelessly on all of these tracks. Here at Daytona, it's not the easiest track. It is the how should I describe Daytona? Yeah, you turn left, and yeah, you push the pedal to the metal. You don't have to hit your brakes, basically. So that's the good thing about Daytona. You don't have to think about when you lift off the gas or anything like that, because you just drive. So out there in the chat, Teichmeyer, Shayla saying, show Troy Teichmeyer back here in the 32. So Troy is about 3 seconds behind. He's just kind of in line with all these guys back here in 21st position. And so he's got a little bit of a distance to make up. But here at Daytona, it is not hard to make up that distance. So Troy in that beautiful number 32 car out there on the track in 21st. And he seems content to stay pretty much where he's at right now for the time being. I'm telling you, once we get to about lap 60, that is not where he's going to stay. He is going to move up very quickly. Speaking of moving up quickly, Daniel Balder, he was in 7th the last time we were checking up on the front of the pack, and here he is back up in the lead, getting pushed by Zach Taylor. And so actually Zach Taylor and Daniel Balder have a history. So a few weeks ago, they were racing at Chicagoland, and they got into each other on the track, and Daniel Balder went spinning towards the end of that race, and Zach Taylor ended up winning that race. So, but they have since buried the hatchet, and it looks like they're working really well together out there on the track. And again, we talked about trust just a few seconds ago. You have to trust that guy, even though you've been in a wreck with him before, you have to trust that he is not going to wreck you this time around. And 25 laps in, and again, we've got to be getting pretty close here to these cars running out of fuel. So probably going to be another 5 or 6 laps maybe before people start jumping into the pits to get their first pit stops going. This should be one of those races, unless they sincerely really stretch out their fuel, they should have to pit twice in this race at least. So some people will go for a 3 pit stop race. I don't believe there'll be anybody trying for a 1. And here we go. So looks like Daniel Balder, our leader, diving into the pits already. So he is going to jump in there. So is Greg Olenek. Looks like Zach Taylor back there as well. Bobby Brill, bunch of others. So we got a lot of guys coming down into the pits. And so we'll keep it here for just a second as Daniel Balder comes on down pit road. And you can kind of see what they deal with here. So they have to stop in their stall. And then, of course, they get all 4 tires changed, they get refueled, and then they jump right back out there. They have to obey a pit speed, and so if they speed on the pits, they get a penalty, and once they go back out there onto the track, they have to come back through the pits once again under green, which will put them about a lap down. So Daniel Balder gets back out there on the track with brand new tires and fuel. Back towards the new leaders, David Duke, and oh no, we've got some people spinning into pits. And so David Duke getting into the pits. And so everything will cycle out here extremely shortly once we get through. But looking out there on the track as everything kind of gets sorted out, but it looks like Daniel Baller will end up back out in the lead as everything will cycle out here shortly. So the only person that I see out there that has not pitted is Corey Knight. And that may just be a glitch that shows that he didn't pit, because he would be showing way ahead if he didn't pit. So I'm thinking he did. I'm thinking that it's just a scoring glitch. But you can see these cars trying to get back up to speed as Daniel Baller comes around. And we will see how everything shakes out here. But I'm actually showing Wes Hogue now out there in the lead by a couple of seconds over Nathan Nixon. Now, he's got nobody out there helping him right now, so Daniel Baller passes Nathan Nixon easily because he's got some help behind. He's got the number 66 of Joshua Siegfried. And so, man, all these cars are getting jumbled up right now, but they'll all get clumped back up together here really quick, because that's the only way to get around this track quickly. You can see Wes Hogue, he's out there all by himself. Daniel Baller going to jump to the outside, and watch how quickly they close the gap on him. And so Daniel Baller all of a sudden takes that lead. Wes Hogue still not getting the push that he needs. So Daniel Baller back out to the lead. Joshua Siegfried in second position. Go back and check on another car here that we haven't talked about at all tonight. It's going to be another one of our in-race reporters if we ever do get a caution here. And so this is going to be Dean Brummett in the number 25 Budweiser car out here. So Dean has the second most wins in SRN history with 4 wins. He's tied with a couple other people there, but he is one of our best drivers in the Cup Series. And so Dean Brummett out here making it work, up in 6th position. Now he's back up in the lead pack, so hadn't said his name all night long, but now he is up there trying to make a little bit of a charge. And now they're just kind of getting in one long line here, these top 7. So there's only 7 cars on the lead lap at least that are up here in this front group, and then it's a good 6 seconds back until we get to Jason Tripp, the Speed Racing Network president himself, back here in 8th position. Now remember, a little bit earlier in the broadcast we said that however many positions Jason Tripp moves forward in this race from where he started, we'll donate $3 for every position that he gains, and right now he is up 12 positions. So if he can maintain this, then we will be donating $36, and each of those $3 donations in honor of Dale Earnhardt himself and in honor of Daytona. Back up front, Daniel Baller still leads this thing. Joshua Siegfried. Now, one of the things you got to be really careful about is overheating. So when you are pushing another car in front of you, you're not getting as much air into your engine, and that engine will start to overheat. And so every now and then you'll see these cars jump out just a little bit just to get enough air into their engine so it doesn't overheat. And so that's one thing that these guys that are pushing the car in front of them have to be extremely aware of. And so right now we're actually going to be joined by Jake Rowell, who is a teammate of Dean Brummett, who we just showed a second ago, and also one of our broadcasters on a regular basis here at Speed Racing Network. Jake, buddy, how's it going tonight?
It's going well, Shawn. How about yourself?
Man, doing absolutely fantastic. This is a great race so far. I know you just kind of jumped in here, but we got a new guy out here, Wes Hogue, that has not raced with Speed Racing Network before, but has a lot of wins under his belt. And then you got your boy, Dean Brummett, up there trying to push.
Yeah, obviously Dean Brummett, ton of talent. Good to hear we got a new guy running with some of our guys from our league in SRN. Obviously he's up front here leading the south side line with Dean, and Dean's the kind of guy that if he can run with you and likes doing it, he's going to stick with you the entire race. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and that's really what has to happen here at Daytona. You find a partner that you can work with, and then you work with them as much as possible. But now we're going to go 3 wide for the lead as Dean Brummett kind of just says, you know what, I got to get outside a little bit. Maybe his engine was overheating to the point where he needed some air. But Wes Hogue in the middle of the 3 wide, tough to do, but I think they might have it sorted. Nope, Dean Brummett still on the outside of that 3 wide.
Yeah, it's almost like Dean Brummett heard us talking about him and said, you know what, I got to get to the front now. But, I think you're probably right. Probably got that engine a little warm, too warm. Had to poke out, get some air to it, and now we see Daniel Ballard jumping up to this high side in front of the 38, trying to take over the lead here.
Yeah, Daniel Ballard, and we've said this a few times tonight, the most winning driver in Speed Racing Network. Dean Brummett, the second most winning driver in Speed Racing Network. And Dean Brummett is tied with another person that we know. He is right here in the booth with us, Jake Rowell.
Yeah, so a lot of winning, obviously on this track in SRN and / Mid-South Madness. It's a great accomplishment to have, but, I want to take away from this great event tonight. It's kind of why I was trying to figure it out to get away up here in the booth, and sure enough, hooked up the old laptop, got a mic to it, and here we are, Shawn.
Well, man, we appreciate you being here. We always love it when you're on the broadcast. In fact, out there in the chat, Rose Brummett thought that I was you there for a second, so I took that to be a compliment.
Gotta love it,
Oh, Daniel Ballard gets tapped.
Ballard about gets sent to the inside there. Heck of a save. Bobby Brill just was getting a huge shove from behind and just all of a sudden was there. And oh my goodness, about loses it all on his own out of 4 right there.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see up at the front of the pack, but these guys that are about 12 seconds behind right now, so starting off with Troy Teichmeyer back here in the 14th, 15th position, they would love to see that because that would knock out some of these fast repairs, and they have enough time to slow down.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting seeing these. I guess it's not interesting to see two packs, but when you're that far back, it can be a big march back to the front of the field. And like you see here, Shawn, these guys aren't really lined up, organized, or anything like that. They're basically bouncing off doors coming out of the corner. So just not a lot of speed coming from the second pack. It's going to be really, really tough running down that front group. Especially if we get green flag pit stops. You could see this group of 10, 12 cars drop down to about 5 or 6, and then it just, it makes that hole a little bit harder to get out of.
Yep, back up front, Daniel Ballard still leads this thing. And again, he's got Bobby Brill right on his tail. A little bit of a scary moment for him earlier with Bobby Brill pushing him. But, you get what you get. Yeah,
that's just kind of the product of plate track racing is, you got to push to maintain your line, edge out the high side there. And, Bobby Brill's just doing everything he can, not trying to get him out of shape, get that 6 car out of the way, but he's just giving him shots down the backstretch. And, now we see him.
Somebody hard in the wall.
Wow, I'm not sure who that was. Obviously just jumping in here, but.
That's Walt Lipicki.
Man, that 10 car, looked like a, flat tire like we'd see in real life right there.
Now he's back out there on the track. No caution because it doesn't impede anybody. So we are still going. But Walt Lipicki hard into the wall. He is already a lap down, but he is going to need a fast repair if we get back to pit stops.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if some of these guys in this front pack, kind of saw that in the mirror, maybe checked up a little bit, could have lost some momentum, and that second pack could have, gained a little bit of time. That's the thing. When you're that far back, every lap, even if it's half a tenth, or half a second to a tenth or something like that, it adds up. We got 44 laps to go, so that second pack could be closing in here.
Well, we actually have a third pack too. So we've got one this front pack with about 7 drivers in it. Second pack is about 6 seconds back, and then about 6 seconds behind them is the third pack back here. So we've got a bunch of different packs. We even have a fourth pack. Vince Cortez is leading this one back here in the back. So we've actually got 4 packs on the track right now.
Yeah, I'd be pretty worried if I was anywhere from that third or fourth pack. It's just, it's Daytona. It's really, really difficult to make time up unless they know something we don't. Maybe that's why we're up here in the booth and not running there tonight. But, from my experience, if you're anywhere from about 5 seconds on back, it's, with as few laps as we have left to go, it's really hard to make up that much time.
Yeah, it's time for go time especially if we keep staying green here. So that's what those second and third packs need to kind of think about right now is, when is go time. And so going back into this third pack here, one of the people that we'll zoom in on here is Shawn Kosier. He's the guy that actually put all this stuff together in the You're Able Chevrolet car right there. So we appreciate him putting this all together for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And Shawn Kosier, Rev Racing, doing a great job this season in our regular leagues. But, man, this takes the cake, this type of charity race.
Oh, you got it right, Shawn. Obviously, like we've had it with 2 weeks ago with the Sadie's All Out Fight for the Speed Racing Network races. Everything Shawn was doing with Sparkle and Shine, putting money up towards that and everything in that manner. And then, 2 weeks later, here we are, and, he's set up this charity race for St. Jude. Just kind of shows you the type of person he is. And, he's willing to do anything and everything for someone. So props to Shawn Kosier. It's awesome to be able to give guys, on iRacing an event like this to go race forward. And at the end of the day, it is for a bigger cause than just, winning that checkered flag.
Here we go. Daniel Balder wrecking and Bobby Brill. I don't think Bobby Brill decided on a line there, and so they go spinning, and that is going to bring out our first caution. And again, this is a good chance for this second and third pack that don't get involved in it, and the reason they don't get involved is they're so far back.
Yep, and there we go, just washing away all the strategy they needed to catch up to the leaders. The yellow flag does it for them. Not really sure what happened here, but we're going to check that out here on the Speed Racing Network rec replay.
Yeah, and you're going to see Bobby Brill goes down to try to block Daniel Bodler, and then just Daniel had already had a nose on him, and so they start spinning. And, yeah, there's a little bit of damage there. Not as much as there could have been for sure. And you're going to see this second pack drive through. No worries there. You're going to see a few others be able to get through. But scary moment for that front pack. We're going to see that another time from a different view.
It kind of looks like Badler was trying to jump down in front of the 66 here. And when he did, I think Bobby thought he was clear. And, it's just that's the product of super speedway racing is if you don't clear, if you don't jump down instantly when that guy does, you're not clear. And that's what we saw here with the 00 and the 6 car, unfortunately get into each other and, around they went. And honestly, impressively, no one else got involved in that wreck. Well, especially Jason Tripp.
Yeah, let's take a look at Jason Tripp. So he was in this second pack, and you'll see what he sees out of his windshield here. And you're going to see a little bit of smoke up in front here just very shortly. And as he comes around, he sees the smoke. He slows it down. Plenty of time. So that's why you get into that second pack. It's just so you can get away from all these guys.
Yeah, very fortunate. No one down there on the apron came up the track to kind of get around it because that could have caused all those guys just another element of surprise as they came through 3 and 4.
Yep, and we're going to take a look out here as Daniel Bodler and everybody else is in the pit. So, of course, we do have fast repairs, one fast repair each. And so
I got to imagine Badler and Brill are definitely going to be using that fast repair right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, one guy that didn't use a fast repair, almost guaranteed he didn't, is Dean Brummett. He got through that thing unscathed. And so let's see if we can't get Dean Brummett here in the number 25. Let's see if we can't get him up into the booth and kind of see what he's thinking about the whole matter. And we call him the COVID Crusader, and of course we do that because he had coronavirus. He was in the hospital with coronavirus and still brought his racing equipment to the hospital and decided to run races with us. But, hey, Dean Brummett, Shawn, and Jake up in the booth, brother. How's it going?
Oh, my goodness. Where in the world did you find Jake straddling around at?
He just kind of lollygagged up in here, man. But we're seeing you out there on the track, and that wreck happened awfully close to you. What did you see out of your windshield?
A lot of blocking, just a lot of emotional driving. A little too early for that one right now, but man, I tell you what, just to be able to drive up here to start this race, I think I started 33rd, something like that, and be up here to be leading it. I kind of like that $150 odds right now.
Yeah,
there you go. So tell us, for the fans at home, Dean, obviously, what it's like kind of coming through the field here at Daytona, and like what your strategy is going into a race like this.
Yeah, I mean, you really got one of two schools of thought when it comes to these types of races. Either you got guys that are going to be super conservative or guys that are going to be super aggressive. And I feel like the successful side of things is the third lesser known school of thought, knowing when to be conservative and knowing when to just send it as hard as you can. And start the race, it looked like it had a green run to it, so I didn't want to lollygag too far back. So managed to drive up to a top 10 right before we made our first pit stops. And then, like I said, just unfortunate to see Bowdler and Bobby Brill get into it that way, but was able to go through, snag us a lead, and stay out here, keep this Budweiser Chevrolet in the win for a bit.
All right, buddy. Well, we will get you right back to your channel here. Can you tell me which channel you were in?
Well, there was one and one only, Shawn. It is the Raise and Praise channel.
I figured that's the one you were in, brother. Hey, man, have a great race. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, buddy. We'll see y'all in a bit.
All right. I should have known that before I even asked him.
I know. With Dean Brummett, you can't expect anything else. You really can't. Well, you and I both know from interviewing him in our league, in Xfinity races, and obviously when you do Cup, he's definitely one of the better interviews we do get.
Oh, he's a blast. Now, I'll tell you, out there on the track, on the outside, Daniel Baldler, even though he was involved in that wreck, he came in, used that fast repair, got right back out there, and so he is still up in second place. But Bobby Brill fell all the way back to 9th position after those pit stops. So a little bit up, a little bit down.
Yep, and here we go, back green flag racing. Dean Brummett going to get on this loud pedal here, going to get pushed by the 38, try to get clear of Daniel Ballard, and I'm sure we'll see these guys kind of single file out and not try to wreck, as we just saw that brought out that yellow.
Yeah, the saying is that cautions breed cautions, which basically just means when you have one caution, you get everybody all bunched back up together. And so a lot of times when that happens, you get another one really, really quickly. And so you can see all these cars, kind of some of them switching positions back there through that middle lane. But looks like they'll be okay this time.
We will, as we head into 3 and 4. Dean Brummett getting still pushed by that 38. These guys clear the 3rd and 4th place cars. 38 going to move to the high side. Kind of going to leave Dean Brummett on an island.
Yep, so he is going to go up to the high side. Dean Brummett is actually going to have Jason Tripp behind him on the low line. And so the captain himself moving up in this race. He is up 15 positions. And again, we're donating $3 for every position that he gains in this race.
Oh! 6 car almost got into the 38. Almost saw the same type of wreck we just saw in 3 and 4 with Bowdler and Bobby Brill.
Yeah, Jason Tripp down there on the bottom side. He is up into 4th position now. He's up 16 spots. Dean Brummett up 30 spots from where he started.
Yeah, so we got a lot of guys that are coming to the front. I know this thing's kind of getting to the end of the show. Want to get themselves in the positions they like to be towards the end of these plate races. I'm not surprised to see Dean Brummett and Daniel Ballard working together. Ton of time together in our league and other races. So I think it's going to be tough to beat these two if they're hooked up together.
Yeah, you can see a little bit further back, Wes Hoke finally getting down to the bottom line. He's going to be right behind Jason Tripp. And, man, I got to tell you, I've been picking on Jason Tripp all week long because he hasn't raced in so long. In fact, the joke out there on the track is that he hasn't raced in so long that his paint scheme is a throwback scheme.
I love it. You see Michael Madden, though, moving up in front of his teammate in our truck series, Nathan Nixon. So we'll see if these two Revved Racing guys can make this highline work and try to get up front. Whoa. I just think there's a lot of cars lined up on the inside right now, single file. It's going to definitely take more than 2 cars on that outside line to make a move and gain some spots. Yeah, Michael Madden and Nathan Nixon both with wins in the truck series this season already. And so they know how to win these races. But up front, Daniel Baldler still leads the way. He loves being in that front position. He doesn't want anything else to happen to him. And here we go, 38, going to bring the 00 Bobby Brill. Dean Brummett going to jump in front of them, throw a little block there to get a run around Ballard. But that could have been orchestrated with those two in the same Discord. Dean's saying, hey, I'm overheating. I'm going to jump to the outside. I'll drop down back in front of you to keep working with you. Let's see what Dean does here. As sure enough, there it is. Gets down in front of Ballard on the inside line.
We'll see. And back there with Jason, and this, again, he's a good racer. He just hasn't raced in a while. He's got to get closer to Bowler there in order to help Bowler get a good run. He's not close enough to his bumper.
Yeah, no, when you leave that kind of gap, which, almost the entire inside line, behind Brummett and Bowler is, really gapped in between themselves with the car in front of them. Just loses a lot of momentum, and the energy on the outside line just is able to rocket around them and get these big runs that we're seeing down here in Daytona.
Yeah, you can hear Jason Tripp's engine as he's coming up on Bowler. He's lifting just ever so slightly, and because he's lifting, he is not being able to jump in or jump forward as much as he possibly could. So that's not helping that inside line at all.
No, and like you've said, Jason Tripp hasn't raced in a little bit, so could just be some nerves as well as just, kind of forgetting what to be doing in these plate tracks. But, hopefully here in the next closing 10, 15 laps when this thing really gets down to it, he's a little bit more aggressive with it, giving shots to Bowler, helping that inside line keep their positions. We see Bobby Brill leave Michael Mann on the outside and drop down in front of Wes Hogg in the 38.
Yeah, Bobby Brill taking the lead here, and again, these first, actually, except for Michael Madden up there on the outside line, basically these top 4 or 5 have been the same pretty much the entire race.
Exactly, and sure enough, here goes Brummett with the 38 of Hogg to the outside to get around Brill. So, we still got the.
Oh, we got somebody spinning back there. I believe that's Cody Riggs. Yep, we got a caution.
Big wreck, huge wreck right there in the middle of 1 and 2. Man, oh man. About 10 cars collected.
Yeah, Danny Setzer involved, John Holiday involved, Cody Riggs, Bo Tiffany. I think Rob Yost may have been involved also. So, yeah, a lot of damage there, and we're going to go to our second wreck replay.
It was hard to see because we were kind of focused in on the leaders, but we'll see it here on the SRN wreck replay. Kind of looks like they're 3 wide, and I believe that's Ryan Ducombe that was in the middle there, and the 224 kind of had a little bit more room to his outside, and that's what's going to happen when you start crowding guys 3 wide at these super speedways. And unfortunately for Cody Riggs, just kind of sent him into the outside wall, and at that point, it's like pinball in the middle of these turns. There's nowhere for guys to go, and a little bit of net code too kind of caused that as well.
Oh, big wreck there, and you can see some of these cars getting some severe damage.
Duke, I think, was involved there in the 78. 22, I believe that's Alan Dobbs.
Yep, a lot of damage out there. Now, what we're going to do, and a lot of times people don't understand what these drivers go through if they've never been the driver themselves. Let's go inside the car if we can.
Yep, so here we go. They're heading into turn 1. You can see the 7 get to the inside of Cody Riggs, and it was just really tight right there with whoever that purple car was inside of Ryan Ducombe. And just at that point, it's you're along for the ride here for Cody Riggs. So you see cars still coming at him on the banking there in middle of 1 and 2.
So now they will try to get back to the pits. Some of these guys have already used that first fast repair, so we will see if any of these guys end up dropping way out of the race because of that damage. But you can see how hurt that car is right there on your screen.
Oh, yeah, him and the 88 in front of him. I believe that's Doc Holliday as well. So you can see what happens when you get damaged. You start losing body panels on the car. You got to come down pit lane. Hopefully you got a fast repair in the bank, and I mean, if you don't, you almost kind of hope this thing turns into a demo derby and every single car in the field looks like that, or else it's it's really hard to keep pace with the pack, especially when they start drafting and things like that. You get left behind, and your race is kind of done at that point.
Yeah, Wes Hogg is going to be the leader coming out of pit road here. If we can, and I'm waiting on this to happen, but let's get Shawn Kosier up here and talk to him about this entire race and how he kind of came up with this idea. So let's bring him up into the booth right now. And Shawn Kosier, this is Sean Griffith and Jake Rowell up in the booth, buddy. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Man, doing good. So, you created this race, and a lot of people have bought into this thing. A lot of people have donated a lot of money. We sincerely appreciate your efforts in this. But tell us how you came up with this.
It was just a thought I had one day. I like to do charities all the time. Doing car wash charities around here. So it's just something I like to do.
Well, man, we sincerely appreciate your efforts in doing this and everything. What are you seeing out there on the track right now?
Seems to be a lot of moving around up in the front a little bit, but doesn't seem too bad. I mean, not as many cautions as I figured there would be.
Definitely. Shawn, when you put on one of these races and you do get those fast repairs, it's kind of a worry some guys might have is, the strategy in it. Do I hang out up front, try to be, out ahead of it, or hang out in the back? Kind of what's been your play on that, strategy coming into this thing tonight?
I was trying to get towards the front and stay out of the middle, but during the last caution I kind of messed up on and hit the downshift and swung me into the side of the car, so that put me towards the back now. But now I'm back in the middle, so.
Well, man, we're going to let you get right back to it, and congratulations on a really great race. Did a great job with it. Can't wait to do more with you in the future, man.
But yeah, I mean, thanks to all the drivers and you guys, and I mean, if it wasn't for all you guys, this wouldn't have happened. I mean, it's easy to make a thought and have it, but all you guys helped put it together.
Well, man, we appreciate you. Have a great race the rest of the way out, all right?
Thank you.
All right. So let's jump back up front here as we are going to get the 1 to green signal. So we're going to come around one more time and then get this party restarted once again here on lap 53 of 80. So we're here at the Revved Up for the Cause 200 and raising money here for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Exactly, and I believe the pace car is going to be coming off this time, so we're going to get the green flag with 27 laps to go. We got the 38 of Wes Hogg and then the 15 of Michael Mann on our front row. So a couple new guys, up front, see what they can do up here. 38 car is going to be instantly on that gas pedal to pull away from that inside line. We saw Michael Mann drop down in behind him, and then the 3 car, not sure who that is right now, on the lead in the outside line.
3 car is Jovi. You don't recognize Jovi?
No, I couldn't see the name yet. Especially, seeing these guys in their Xfinity cars now we got them in Cup cars, so it throws a little surprise.
Well, Jovi Sagiped moving all the way up into the front, and he's going to get a great push by Bobby Brill, and they're both going to come down to the bottom of the track and maintain that lead.
Yep, they're going to close the door on the 38. These two were hooked up down the backstretch, got that huge run up on the high side and able to clear the inside line. But now that 7 car, Ryan Ducombe, who is Jovi's teammate in our Xfinity series for the SRN, leading that outside line with Daniel Bowder right behind him. So kind of makes you wonder. We saw this, in the Xfinity race at Daytona. Jovi and Ryan Ducombe kind of leading both the inside and outside line. And, that they got beat, but for a while there, it kind of looked like they were in control of that race. So might be seeing the same exact thing.
Troy Teichmeyer got a little bit loose there, but he got it back under control. So he's back there 3rd in the outside lane.
Yeah, and that's kind of a little bit of a worry if you're Daniel Bowder and Ryan on the high side here. If you're the only 2 cars, sure enough, as I say that, a couple cars move to the high side to try to get some positions up there. But, this bottom line is really organized right now with Jovi Sagiped, Bobby Brill, and Wes Hogg on the inside. It's, that's tough to beat when you got 3 cars lined up like they are right now.
Yeah, Jovi has not won a race just yet. Now, Ryan Ducombe has. Bobby Brill hasn't won a race yet this season, but he did take 2nd this past week.
Yeah, he definitely did. Made me work for it, made me sweat a little bit on those last few laps. As we see Jovi kind of passing a lap down car on the inside there, and sure enough, here comes Daniel Bowder and Ryan Ducombe on the high side.
Yeah, Ducombe takes that lead just momentarily. Daniel Bowder kind of blinks out a little bit. Something that happens here with the internet issues.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the beauties of iRacing is when you got a blinker in the field, but thankfully Bowder was just kind of, instantly blinked in and out. Now he's back. So, you know, if you're Ryan, that makes you very comfortable with it. That way, you know, you don't get net coated and turned, anything like that. But up front now, it's this 3 car and that 7 car leading these inside and outside lines.
Yeah, Jovi actually one of the legends and the things that happened with him a little bit earlier this season. He actually had his kid on his lap while he was driving and ended up in the top 5.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, who would have thought that? But also at the other side of that spectrum, I believe you and I were broadcasting the Texas recruitment race for our Xfinity series, and Jovi's son actually unplugged his wheel and sent him hard into the outside wall. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But right now, hopefully that doesn't happen to Jovi as he's leading this field with 23 laps to go.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I mean, I'm extremely impressed by our captain, Jason Tripp here, up in 12th position up in this front pack. And so I really thought that he would be the one that kind of hangs back a little bit, but he is up here. He's trying to compete for this thing.
He definitely is. He's trying to make you guys all worried for the All-Star race we have for the draft. So, you know, Jason Tripp realizes he needs to get some more seat time, and here he is running 12th place at Daytona.
Well, Ryan Newcomb leads this thing right now. Now another car that is in that kind of a pack up there, the number 46 of Mike Lepicki. And so he was our runner-up in Mid-South Madness Season 1. So he knows how to wheel this thing, but he is up in 12th in that lead pack right now. So he's got some work to do, but he's got the possibility of doing it.
It definitely does. He seems to have a few of his teammates from Tank Racing around him too. I think I've seen Zachary Taylor in the 14 car near him. So he's, you know, these boys they know it's go time. We got 22 laps to go, and you know, as I saw the ticker kind of go across, you know, a name that you'd figure would be up here, Dean Brummett, back there about 9 seconds behind this pack. So not too sure what's going on with him, as he's hanging out there with David Duke in the back. So maybe he, you know, didn't like how it was going up front, you know, trying not to get into a wreck. Maybe he had to use a fast repair or something like that. So he's just kind of buying his time right now.
Yeah, David Duke a lap down, but still under full power, it looks like. So he is trying to push Dean Brummett up back towards the top of this pack.
Yeah, and that's going to be really tough with 2 cars. You know, you see this field here. It's got about 20 cars in it right now. So I got to imagine they're losing time. But right now, Daniel Bowler, you know, we saw him involved in that wreck early on with Bobby Brill back up front, leading the outside line, trying to get back up front, lead it, you know, be the point man of this race and kind of have it in his control. You know, it's kind of what we expect to see out of that 6 car is him up front. He likes to be there, and, you know, making everyone know that, you know, if you're going to win this, you got to go through me.
Another name that we haven't really said at all tonight, Casey Feaster back here in the 20 car up in 9th position. So Casey started off in the 11th position, just moved up a couple spots, but, you know, sometimes those guys that you don't say their name at all, they're the ones that are the most dangerous. You just never know they're there.
Exactly, you know. They're the silent night, so to speak. You know, you don't really talk about them. Next thing you know, they're leading this thing, and, you know, come the white flag, they're in a position to make a move to go win it. So you got to keep your eye out on some of these names, you know. That we've, you know, never seen before or don't really know much about, because at the end of the day, you know, any of these drivers in this field can go up here and win this thing. So 20 car, that, you know, the 38 car, you know, we don't see them in our leagues, but obviously they are more than capable of winning this thing. So definitely got to keep your eye out for them.
Yeah, right now, Jovi Sagiped, who is in 2nd position right now, has moved up. Actually, he's up in 1st now. He has moved up 40 spots. So he started off in dead last, and now he is up in 1st.
Hey, we saw him make a move to the outside, jump in front of Daniel Bowler. Got to push down the backstretch from the 6 car. Now he's going to try to probably clear to get down in front of his teammate Ryan. Might have gotten, you know, a little too warm on his engine temperatures and things like that, so he had to get out of line, cool it off. Now he's, you know, leading the outside line. So these two, like I said earlier, you know, this is exactly the same thing they did for SRN's Xfinity race. So I'm really not surprised to see these two doing it, you know, when they're in the same race at a super speedway.
Yeah, they are leading both sides of this thing. But you can see some of these cars back in the back. They're starting to kind of move up a little bit, trying to get into this main pack.
Yeah, they definitely are. It's I got to imagine it's not going to go green for 18 laps because the runs get bigger, the moves get bolder, and it's just things start to happen when time starts to run down. A lot of guys in the back we haven't really talked about will make their way to the front. Could even see 3-4 wide possibly here on this track. It's just the ability we have here when we run in Daytona. So I think it's gonna start to heat up.
And out there in the chat, Brandon Browning, he calls himself a super speedway king. He's not out here tonight though, but he's one of our cup drivers, saying they're going to use the pro strategy and not clear each other, so there's nowhere to go. And so basically what he's saying is that Jovi and Ryan Ducombe, if they stay side by side, then nobody can really get past them very easily.
Yeah, he's right about that, but the thing you got to worry about is the third lane being made, and at that point you can't block all three when you've only got two cars. So Brandon's right about that, but if there are any aggressive guys in the field that want to make it 3 wide, that can spoil the party of Jovi and Ryan. So you got to watch out for that.
And so I just got word from race control. So Jovi, who's in the 3, even though he's moved up the most spots, you had to have qualified in under 1 minute in order to be eligible for the hard charger. So he is not eligible for the hard charger. A few others that did not qualify, but right now the hardest charger that I can see out there on the track, you know what, I'm going to have to get back to you on that one.
Gotta love it. I mean, every single lap, positions are able to change. Things can change so quickly here at Daytona. So one lap someone might have it, next thing you know it's someone else. So really won't be able to know who wins that until we obviously take the checkered flag. So something just to keep an eye out, obviously, in this race, with the winnings of an award like the hard charger, along with obviously the payouts for the I think it's the top 5 here tonight.
It's top 3. So top 3 get paid out tonight, plus the hard charger. But so I did just get confirmation. So Ryan Ducombe in the 7 right now is the hard charger, up 27 positions from where he started.
It's a good thing to do. It's tough, obviously, trying to do that, coming through the field in 80 laps, things like that. We've seen some accidents. Ryan was able to avoid those, keep his car clean. So props to him right now if he is able to end up winning that award. But you never know, obviously. Things can happen so quickly. In a blink of an eye, you could be facing the wrong way, spinning down the backstretch, something like that. So we'll have to see what happens here. But these two up front are kind of pushing each other a little further out than I feel comfortable with, because that allows the cars from behind to get huge runs and able to make a move to your outside and kind of almost pass you on their own.
Yeah, they're starting to catch up to a pack here in front of them to put them a lap down.
That kind of always can be worrisome, especially when the lap cars kind of do that, where one goes low, one goes high, and it's like, well, where do we all go? So we're about to see 3 wide, I think, here. This is going to get hairy.
This is going to get really hairy. You got one lap car on the bottom of the track. You got a couple of them at the top of the track, and faster cars trying to get around them. Oh, and yeah, we're going to get wrecked, I think. Oh, is that Jason Tripp?
Wow.
He wheeled that thing.
Has not come out. That was a log jam right there. They finally get clear of them, but now you can see what that has caused for the leaders.
Oh, there we go. So Walter Lepicki gets spun.
I believe he just hit his son, Michael Lepicki, too.
Oh, my goodness. Father-son damage. Yeah, Michael Lepicki on his hood. Oh, this is going to be an interesting family conversation.
Still bring out a yellow.
Still green. Oh, my goodness. I thought that would definitely bring out a yellow, but nope. Still green because he is out of the racing line. So very surprising. And we'll go back and get a wreck replay here in just a minute.
And now because of that, though, we've got a 7-car breakaway. You see these 7 cars have pulled away from the rest of the field from when they had to go through those lap-down cars. So, that field of about 20 cars is now down to 7. So, if they kind of keep it tidy here for a while, they can pull away, and it'll only be a 7-car race. especially if those guys from behind don't, kind of line up and work together to catch these front 7. Although it looks like they've kind of run them down a little bit, so I guess they weren't as far behind as it seemed.
Yeah, definitely those straight lines are a lot easier to get further up the speed and get closer to that front pack. So that would be a great idea for those back 4 back there to just get in one single line, don't fight each other for position, and then move up. And once you get up there to that main pack, then you fight.
Exactly. You can't win it with 12 to go, especially when you're hanging out in 10th place. There's no point to be going side by side, especially when you're trying to run the leaders down. As we see Bobby Brill almost get into the left side door of Daniel Bowdler, had a little moment there, kind of got a little out of shape through the middle of 3 and 4. Kind of interesting to see Daniel Bowdler and Zachary Taylor working together. I know those two have had a little history, but obviously it's they put a little piece to it, but it's just kind of coincidence that they're nose to tail here.
Yeah, that's actually the second time they've worked together in this race, and so it looks like whatever bad blood there was from that very first race of the season, they have put that behind them, and they're working together here.
Yeah, they definitely are. Speaking of working together, obviously up front still we got Jovi Sagiped and Ryan Ducombe up front with Bobby Brill and Daniel Bowdler behind them. So these two guys for H2K Motorsports, they know what they're doing right now. There's no point of battling each other with 10 to go. They kind of control this race. It's harder to get around them when you got two guys that are gonna go to the outside together, stay to the low side. It'll be interesting to see if this thing goes green from here on out to watch what these guys from behind have to do to get around them.
Yeah, all of these guys have done a great job of keeping this race as clean as it's been. It's really tough to do that in close proximity like this. So just shows the talent level that we have out there on the track.
Yeah, it really does, especially when you factor into you got guys that are in our Cup Series in here, down to our Truck Series as well. So, it's some guys might not have ever raced together. Things like that, it just kind of throws another element to the mixing bowl, so to speak, of what we've got here tonight, as well as just guys knowing we've never heard of them. No one, some people might have raced with them or never before. So really good clean racing here tonight.
Well, while we've got just a little bit of time here, because we've only got 8 laps to go, let's go back to that wreck replay and see what happened here with Mike Lepicki. And oh my goodness, just all sorts of damage. And yeah, sure enough, it was Walter Lepicki.
Walt Lepicki tried staying high. I think he turned down a little bit, thinking he was going to get the outside wall out of 4, and came across the nose of that 54 car, I believe, and sent Walt to the inside and hit his son, Mike Lepicki. And obviously you just saw send Mike Lepicki flipping to the inside wall right before pit lane. And, in that moment, there's nothing Mike can do at that point. You're going 200 miles an hour shooting towards the inside wall. Doesn't matter if you hold the brake or not. Your night's pretty much done. You're hitting that wall at, that speed.
Well, we're back up front now with Jovi Sagiped here in the number 3 car. Now we got Kelly Everett out there on the outside. Another name that we really haven't said too much about tonight. New driver for Speed Racing Network. Haven't seen Kelly out here before, and he's getting pushed by Alan Dobbs, who's a lap down.
Yep. So we got Alan Dobbs, who's a lap down, but obviously got a clean car from a fast repair or something. Even though he's a lap down, still able to keep up speed and help out Kelly Everett. At one moment, Kelly was leading this thing on the outside, but that inside line prevailed, and sure enough, Jovi Sagiped takes the lead back as they head off of 2.
You can see how tight that pack is right there, and I'm telling you, as we're coming to 5 to go here, it is about to get dicey.
It really is. We touched on it earlier with Jason Tripp, how he was leaving a little bit of room behind Daniel Bowdler on the inside line, and you can tell from that aerial shot how close these guys are now to one another's rear bumpers with the front bumper of their car. So, it's tightened up. Things are going to get aggressive. One little mistake could end your race or send a car to the inside or the outside wall, and, calamity happens in front of us. So right now, 5 laps to go here for the Revved Up for the Cause 200.
Yeah, and only 11 cars in this lead pack here. And so unless there is a caution, that's really who it's going to be between here. And again, these lap cars, so tough to get out of the way there, and that allows the main group to get past. But when that main group has to find a way around the lap cars, it's tough to do.
Yeah, it really is. Thankfully, that car, went to the inside under the double yellow line, got out of the way. That way, we didn't see something like we saw, with Walt Lipicki earlier. When they were going into one, they were going 3 wide through the middle of those 2-lap cars, which is never something you want to do as a leader.
The other thing we really haven't talked about, these guys are going to have to go 29 laps on fuel in order to make it to the finish line with fuel. And so we have not seen anybody make that long of a stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe you can answer this, whether or not we had different fuel levels or anything like that.
70%, yeah, 70%.
Yeah, so I want to say they'll be able to make it. They should. But obviously, you never know, especially if we start getting green-white checkers or things like that. A car up front now, like Jovi Sagipet, is going to be using more fuel because he's that first car breaking the air. So he's going to use a lot more fuel than the rest of these guys as we're starting to catch up on more lap cars. So we have 3 laps to go, but things can get dicey here again right here.
Yep, lots of lap cars. Justin Kruckman right there in front of Jovi Sagipet. That's going to allow Wes Hogue to take the lead on the outside.
Yeah, not really sure why he's not kind of getting below the apron, getting out of these guys' way. That's
and Justin going to get squirrely.
Oh, man, please save it. He does. Heck of a save right there, but, kind of Ryan Ducombe and Jovi Sagipet lost the lead because of that. Now Wes Hogg and the 15 of Michael Madden going to drive away a little bit here. 2 laps to go. It's really only a three-car race.
Michael Madden, a lot of our audience out there loves just seeing him up front. So we've got the Madden crew going on out there, and Michael is in prime position here to possibly steal this win with 2 laps to go as they come up on more lap traffic.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You're Michael Madden. Can't let, as Ryan Ducombe gets to his inside, so this 38 car drops below. It's going to shuffle out Michael Madden, and Ryan Ducombe's going to get to second place here and push this 38 car.
And as we come around,
they're getting really, really loose through the middle of these corners.
Oh, Ducombe has to dive off. He's out of fuel. Oh, we got a yellow. Tevin Whitner is in a wreck. Let's go back. Yeah, he is turned backwards. So we're actually going to get a green-white checker flag finish, which basically means we're not done with this race just yet, Jake.
No, we're not, Shawn. I couldn't tell. Maybe Ryan Ducombe was out of fuel. He kind of made a late exit to pit lane. It seemed like he checked up really hard, like he was going into pits. But here again, with Tevin Whitner in the 24 car.
Oh, that's Bobby Brill.
Yeah, Bobby Brill got into his left rear quarter panel. Not intentional or anything like that, but I don't know if he wasn't sure he was out there or he hit the apron here and got loose and tried collecting it and saving the car. And unfortunately, I wonder if that car in front of Bobby Brill was out of fuel with how slowed up he got in front of Bobby.
It seems like it because they dove into the pits immediately after that happened. So now we're going to get basically a reset here. So a lot of these cars, they got to decide now how much fuel do they have left, because they were on the line as far as how much fuel they had left. So we'll see if any of these cars decide to come down into the pits for a quick splash and go. But right now, you kind of have to, finish with what you got, don't you? Oh, nope, here we go.
I think they're going to have to with the amount of guys we saw pitting. I think everyone was going to run out if that thing went green. So, for these guys that were able to stay out and have enough fuel, as we see Jason Tripp coming down pit lane, I think they'll, everyone here is going to get tires and fuel probably. Jovi Sagipet fell back to 10th place. Got some cars that looks like out of fuel on the apron here out of 4.
Yeah, but Jovi actually took fuel and tires back on lap 78. And so with 2 laps to go, Jovi dove into the pits. And so he is going to have the freshest tires and the most fuel out there. And the person that's right behind him is his teammate, Ryan Ducombe, who, man, they've been pushing each other the entire time.
Yeah, so there you go. And, we see Michael Madden up here shown in the lead, but should cycle out to Jovi being in the lead. The only thing, that might be with Ryan Ducombe, for example, we saw him dive down, but that yellow came out. So if he wasn't in pit lane yet, he could have gotten an entering closed pit penalty, which would be an EOL penalty, which, obviously would line him up behind every single other car. So we'll have to see here how this cycles through with scoring.
Yeah, and when you're under yellow like this, it's tough for the scoring to kind of get all situated. But, hey, while we've got a chance here, let's see if we can't get another driver in the chat here with us. Let's see if we can't find old Jason Tripp and bring him up. Yeah, this is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, Jason Tripp, Shawn and Jake up in the booth, buddy. How's it going?
Hey, Shawn. How you doing, man?
Man, doing good. So tell us where your head is at right now because, man, we thought this thing was going to go green. You had to dive into the pits.
Well, I had to go into the pits anyways. I was out of fuel as I rolled into my my pit box there. I had run out as I rolled into the pit box. I was shutting the car off and just coasting around best I could, trying to maintain what fuel I had left to make it back to the pits. So the caution, well, it was welcomed. Wasn't really a good time for it. I really needed to pit one lap earlier.
Definitely, first off, want to say, we appreciate you donating for every single position you've gained. Hopefully you are in the positive there. That way you are able to donate. It's been a while since we've seen you on track. How's it been for you?
Well, yeah, it's been a nice little welcome home. My counterpart here just to my left, Mr. Setzer, actually said that it's been so long since I've been on a racetrack that my paint is actually considered a throwback. But,
nice.
A little bit of entertainment.
And I got to imagine your crew chief has now kind of gotten a promotion to broadcaster. So how's that been for you out on track?
Well, not having a crew chief has not been fun here. I really depend on those guys being around here. So trying to figure out this lineup right now. We got a little bit of confusion going on out here.
Well, buddy, we're going to let you get right back to it because I know we're about to go green. Congratulations on a good race so far, and keep it up.
I appreciate it, fellas. Thank you, guys.
All right. Out there in the chat right now, we actually have Justin Boyle saying they must have unlimited fast repairs because there's no way that Jason Tripp's car looks that good right now. And, Justin, I'm telling you, we are just as surprised as you are, buddy.
Yeah, and they only have, one fast repair? That's correct. And I don't think we've seen Jason Tripp actually in a wreck. So, he's got a clean car, and he's still got one in the bank in case things get a little wild here on this, on this restart.
So let's go back and re-rack here. So we got Jovi Sagiped up front. So he has pitted. All these guys have actually pitted at this point. His teammate and the guy that's been pushing him the most, Ryan Ducombe, all the way back in 17th place. I believe you're correct that he entered closed pits, which gives him a penalty. And so that's why he is so far back. Cody Riggs, who was involved in an earlier incident, on the outside of row 1. So he is in prime position here. And then the race king himself, the guy that put this all together, Shawn Kosier, up in third on his outside, Michael Madden. So, man, what a great top four.
Honestly, and you look back in 5th place too, that's Nathan Nixon. So you got 4 guys that race for Rev Racing all up front. Kind of makes you wonder if they're going to be working together to get around this 3-car Jovi Sagiped once we go back green this time by.
Out there in the chat, we're still having fun with Jason Tripp. Justin Boyle's saying that the car looks that good because you can't get into a wreck if you lose the pack at every run. So, man, just love all the guys picking on Jason Tripp, and Jason's got such a good sense of humor, and we just love Jason. It's so good to see him out there on the track.
Oh, it definitely is. Obviously, all joking aside, it'd be a heck of a comeback story if Jason Tripp was to go out here and win this thing tonight. Kind of silence all his haters and say, hey, look, man, I might have been off the racing part of things on iRacing for a while, but I still got it. So if the 91 pulls this off, man, it'd be pretty wild.
It would be pretty wild. And out there in the chat, Julie Madden saying, go Mike Madden, number 15. So Mike is up in 4th position in the 2nd row on the outside. So, again, he knows how to win these races. So he is out there. But right behind him, Zach Taylor, another guy that's got a couple wins this season.
And here we go, under green flag racing. Jovi Sagiped gonna go. Got Michael Madden right behind him. I think Madden's trying to get it to the outside to work with his teammate, but I don't think it's gonna work. The 14 of Zach Taylor closed that hole.
Jovi still leads this race. Michael Madden pushing him.
Yeah, got to be worried if you're Jovi, if 15 gets cleared here on the backstretch, if he would jump up in front of Cody Riggs, but I don't think he got cleared, obviously. So we're going to go 2x2 into 3, coming to the white flag this time if there's not a wreck. This race up front's going to be side by side with the 3 and the 2-2-4.
Yeah, and out there in the chat, You're Able saying there's a lot of You're Able green out there right now, and there is up in the top 8. You got 3 of those cars as You're Able cars.
Yep, and here we go. I think they're going to get the white flag. So at this point, whoever comes around and hits that line first, is going to win it. Don't look now,
Jovi! Way out of the line. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, we got a big wreck. Big wreck up front, so tons of wrecking going on. Michael Madden makes it through there. Shawn Kosier on his tail, so this is going to come down to the race right here. Michael Madden out in the lead. Shawn Kosier trying desperately to figure out a way how to pass him.
Yeah, he's going to have to lay off of him, kind of get a run out of 4 if he wants to get it done. Can't be tucked up too close behind him. I think that's what he realizes. He's going to try to get off of him, try to get a big run out of 4, probably go to his outside and make it a drag race off 4. It's not going to get it done. Michael Madden's going to get the push from Shawn Kosier, going to come across this line. And Michael Madden gets it done in the Revved Up for the Cause 200 here at Daytona International Speedway.
Man, excellent race. Huge wreck at the finish. Michael Madden with the win. Shawn Kosier himself, the guy that put this race together, up in second. Bobby Brill, last season's champion, brings it home in third. You can see wreckage all over the track.
Yeah, that was a massive wreck behind these top 3 drivers. Can't believe Bobby Brill got through it, because I think he got doored by someone too when that wreck was happening. And we're going to go back here and watch this replay. I mean, ultimately, Shawn, what I really want to know is what the heck happened with Jovi's soggy ped.
I really have no idea. You're going to see Jovi just kind of peel off here.
It's not even like he got a weird hit or anything like that.
No, he just peeled right off. I'm not sure what happened.
Makes you wonder if he thought the race was over with how he just dove down there and hit the brakes.
I mean, but look at, so Cody Riggs on the top side, he tries to dip down, gets into the 3 wide, and then everything starts to happen after that.
Yeah, it looked like the 14 car kind of got him a little squirrely from a bump in the middle of the corner, and at that point, the whole field kind of went away in a huge wreck. And we'll see it here from this aerial shot. You see the 14 is Zachary Taylor really pushing hard, coming to the white. And then there we see Jovi Soggy peel off. And again, I think it's going to be right here where you see the 14 kind of get him a little loose. Then, yeah, sure enough, those two get into each other. And then at that point, every single car from behind, you got Doc Holliday flipping above the catch fence. Aaron Gerwitz on top of cars. Guys just trying to full throttle their way through it. Man, that was a huge wreck coming to, to the checkered flag.
Yep, and out there live now, we've got Michael Madden burning it down on the infield after a great win. He wins $200 and a butt kicker gamer too.
Yeah, that's awesome for him. Michael Madden, winning a ton in our truck series, but to come up here and, do it in the Cup car against, guys that run in our Xfinity and Cup league is, it's a heck of a boost of confidence for him. Props to Michael Madden winning tonight, obviously for the money as well as the butt kicker. And obviously we want to thank Shawn Kosier for putting this on, who we will be able to interview here shortly. But, we'll go through here with our race results. Obviously Michael Madden winning it, Shawn Kosier in second, Bobby Brill coming home third, who we saw was, the last car to get through the massive wreck in the middle of 1 and 2. Wes Hoggan fourth, and then Dean Brumman actually coming home fifth place.
Yep, Alan Dobbs up in sixth place, Zach Taylor in seventh, Byron McDonald in eighth. We didn't say Byron McDonald's name all night long, but he ends up in eighth. Kelly Everett's in ninth, Casey Feaster in 10th.
And then 11th place, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Jason Tripp. 12th place, John Doc Holliday. 13th, Daniel Bowler. 14th, we got Cody Riggs, who, was leading that outside line, past the white flag. Jovi Soggy Ped, who we saw peel off, coming home 15th. Nathan Nixon in 16th. And then 17th, we got Troy Techmeyer. 18th, Ryan DeCum, who unfortunately had that black flag on that last restart. 19th, we got Joshua Segfrid. And coming home 20th place tonight is Daniel Keith Jr.
And I've checked the stats here, and it looks like Dean Brummett, he went forward 27 positions, and he was eligible for that Hard Charger award. So it looks like Dean Brummett, based on my stats at least, will win the Hard Charger and that $150.
Congrats to Dean on that. Obviously wishes he was probably in the top 3, but hey, to be able to come home with the Hard Charger, it's just as impressive as finishing in the top 3 tonight.
Well, man, let's see if we can't find Bobby Brill out here. I'm not sure he's even in the chat, to be completely honest with you. I'm not sure I've seen him all night there, and I don't see him in the chat at all. So let's see if we can't get Shawn Kosier and talk to him once again, not only about the win or about the second place finish, but also about the race itself. And Shawn, I know you were up here already once, Shawn and Jake up here in the booth. But man, second place finish, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I don't know how that worked out, but I guess on that last pit stop, I just before the caution came out, I guess I beat the leaders out.
Definitely. To be able to have that track position on a late restart, it's crucial. Obviously, gets you out in front of those wrecks like we just saw after we took the white flag. Did you think you had anything, to be able to make a run at Michael Madden once that wreck happened, and you knew it was just him and yourself, to the finish line?
Madden's pretty quick, so I wasn't really going to try to push it, try to get around him. I didn't want to take the chance of wrecking both of us out.
Oh, man.
So
did a great job, not only tonight, but also just putting this whole thing together. And so I know there's a lot of good exposure out there. And, of course, everybody out there that is still watching, definitely go out there, donate to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Those kids need all the help they can get in order to eventually, hopefully, get rid of childhood cancer.
Yeah, that's, a good cause, and, the kids don't need to live with that and everything.
Definitely, man. Well, congratulations tonight, and we'll get you right back down there to your team. But have a great night, and we will see you, I believe, on, is it Wednesday that we get to see you again? Yeah, all right. Sounds good,
Wednesday
man.
Night.
Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
All right, let's see if we can't get Michael Madden up here himself. And Michael, I know your entire Madden crew out there is loving watching this. Jake and Shawn up here in the booth. Congrats, man. Great race.
Thanks, guys. It feels great to be back in victory lane. What a race. Oh, man.
Yeah, so Michael, obviously you won it, so congratulations to you. What was going through your mind, when he took the white flag and he saw, the 3 car in front of you drop down, below the apron and kind of come to a stop, just talk us through, kind of what was just going through your mind right there.
I knew everybody was tight on gas. I just didn't know what everybody's strategy was. It was really weird how it shaked out, how Cody hopped in front of me and, everybody who pit. So I knew something kind of wild had to happen. I was just looking forward to, just making my move and just picking my move and expecting him to be there at the end. So when he dropped down in front of me, it just opened it up, and I was just trying to just keep it straight. And I had Shawn behind me, and when you have the Red Racing crew behind you, you know you're gonna get a clean race to the finish, and that's all I was looking for.
Well, man, at any point in this race, did you consider, this isn't going to be my race?
I did not. I just wanted to keep myself in position to keep hanging on. That was kind of what went awry for me in the first, in the league races. I hung out in the back and then made my move too late. So I just said, this race, I was just like, it's, nothing's on the line. Let's just go for it and stay up front and put yourself in position. If you can't put yourself in position at the end, you're not going to be able to win. So if you're trying to catch up the whole race, it makes a big disadvantage for you. So I stayed up front, followed Wes and the Rev guys, and we just stayed up front all night. It was great.
Well, buddy, your entire crew out there in the chat, Mike Carrozza, your father, Mike Madden Sr., Julie Madden, man, the whole crew loving what they saw tonight. So congratulations once again, $200 and a butt kicker. Man, doesn't get much better than that.
I appreciate it, guys. I want to thank Yerbal, Shawn, everybody at Sparkle and Shine for putting this thing on. I'm going to donate the $200, no doubt about it. I appreciate the event. That it was just a great time to be a part of it. I'm looking forward to the next one.
All right, buddy. Well, man, good on you for doing that. We appreciate you being here, and congratulations once again. We will see you, man, we're not too long out here in the future.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, buddy. Take care. All right, Jake, another great race. And, man, anytime we come to Daytona, we get a good one.
Yeah, we definitely do, Shawn. I did just message Jovi to see what happened because I was just too curious about it. He said he ran out of fuel, so we just had to get out of the way of the field. And he said, I guess that last yellow got delayed a lap, and it just kind of really killed his chances of being able to finish this thing. So, that kind of just points out to what happened with Jovi Sagiped there on the white flag.
Man, it's unfortunate. He had a great race going, and we got another great race coming up at the City of Angels 200 at Auto Club Speedway this Sunday, February 28th at 8:30 p.m. Central. We got the Speed Racing Network Cup Series back out there on the track, including the guy in the booth with me, Jake Rowell.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's a fun track. Obviously, we were there for one of our recruitment races earlier back in January. You're going to see a lot of 3, 4, even 5 wide racing on restarts, things like that, especially with the Cup cars. So restarts are going to be key. You can gain a ton of positions or you could lose a ton. Just kind of depends on how your line goes and things like that. If it comes down to a fuel strategy race, I feel really good about it, obviously. But I'm looking forward to it. I think there's going to be a lot of great competition there. It's one of those tracks where kind of you got to be quick, and obviously that track brings a lot of green flag racing, so you got to keep that in mind.
Definitely, man. Well, thank you so much for being here to broadcast with me tonight. We always love having you up here in the booth. And for everybody that's out there watching right now, we appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate all your donations to St. Jude, to all of our sponsors. Thank you so much for all that you do. We sincerely appreciate it. We could not do this without you. But for right now, again, my name is Shawn Griffith, along with Jake Rowell, and we're going to let everybody go this evening. But just remember, always go faster.